Hello everyone, till all has seen one. This is Retroaction. Hello everyone, it's Retroaction, and I'm back for the final time, I hope, talking about my thoughts on Transformers 1, because I've watched the prior two videos of the full review, quote unquote, and I'm still not entirely pleased with it. I felt like it was more of a summary of the story, and just a little bit added on about my actual experience in the cinema, and what I thought of the characters and the animation and everything. So I want to go a bit more in depth this time, rather than just give, and I thought the other video I added on, because I added on the second video because I wasn't happy with what I covered in the first, and that still didn't cover everything, so I'm going to try and round it off here and hope that I create a more complete review of this last video, because there's still some stuff I want to include which I didn't mention in the prior two videos. Right, so to start off with, I love the Cybertronian modes, Optimus Prime, Megatron. I really like the character designs, they're really cool. Again, I really like seeing Cybertron. It's really nice to finally have a film set on Cybertron. I'm surprised I didn't bring that up yet. But we finally got what we wanted, a film entirely set on Cybertron. And they could do a whole trilogy, if you ask me, on Cybertron. And it's already been said before, but what they should do is in the second film, we should see the rise of Megatron and the start of the war between the Autobots and the Decepticons. And then the third film should end with them crashing the Ark into Earth. And so we can then it's all set up ready for the Transformers season 1, and that'd be fantastic if they could pull that off. And I think in this animation style and with this voice cast and voice actors and everything, I think that we could easily get a trilogy out of this, and I would love to see a sequel. That all depends on how successful the film is. Yeah, but I would love to see a sequel, and I hope we get a trilogy out of this at least. In fact, I even want to see like a continuation of the G1 storyline, like going to Nebulos and having the Headmasters and the Target Masters and the Power Masters and the Pretenders, and I'm not sure how to do the Action Masters, but even going up to like European exclusives and stuff. I'd love to see that in this animation style and with this level of storytelling. I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, Darkwing's in the film, and the whole time I was watching the film, I was trying to figure out if this is actually the Power Master Darkwing from G1 or not. I'm not entirely sure. It could just be a character called Darkwing. He looks cool, though. Never saw him transform, but that's what I mean. And that's what inspired me to think about having Power Masters being included in this film series. I'd love it if they got into all that. Either way, what surprised me, I also thought about making a video about the scenes that surprised me the most in the film. I think I'm just going to add that on to this. So yeah, going back to Sentinel Prime and everything. When I watched the trailer, I thought he was going to be a minor character, like in G1. And a lot of this I based on... I kept hearing that, you know, that even on the Vue's website, it said this is the untold story of Optimus Prime and Megatron. And I thought, well, what about War Dawn, the G1 episode? The Transformers Season 2 episode War Dawn. And then I rewatched it after watching Transformers 1, and I realised there were quite a lot of differences. In War Dawn, Orion Pax doesn't personally know Megatron, and the Decepticons have already been created at this point. It's still the golden age of Cybertron, but Orion Pax doesn't know Megatron. He just says that there's these really cool flying robots, these new flying robots that he's heard about. So they don't actually know each other on a personal level like they did in this film. So there are some differences. This is a new take on the characters, but at the time when I was watching it in the cinema, I thought this was referencing War Dawn, because you got Elita 1. In War Dawn, she started off as Ariel and then was rebuilt into Elita 1. And Alpha Trion was the one that rebuilt Orion Pax and Optimus Prime. It worked out a bit differently in this film, because Alpha Trion got killed off, which was a bit of a shame, in my opinion, but it was a brutal scene. It really showed how merciless Sentinel Prime was. He was a formidable villain. I don't talk about him much. I really like his design. He didn't have the jet mode, and the toy doesn't have a sword, which I'm quite surprised about. Both of the toys that have been revealed don't have a sword, the Studio Series version and the main line that's currently out. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, he had this double-bladed sword in the film, and again, I thought he was a minor character from the trailer. In the first trailer, we see this Quintessons like strangle him, and I thought in G1, like in how he appeared in Five Faces of Darkness, Part 1. At the time, he wasn't called Sentinel Prime, but it's been retconned to be Sentinel Prime now, in modern times. Yeah, basically, in that, he only shows up for a little bit and then gets killed off by Megatron, and he's the predecessor to Optimus Prime, like how he is in this film. But in this film, he actually played a much bigger role, and he was even the main villain, which I was really surprised about, to be honest. I did not expect. So just like I thought the Matrix wouldn't play a major role in this film, which was a bit stupid because, of course, Optimus Prime is going to be how Orion Pax ends up in this film. So the Matrix was going to play a pivotal role. I didn't expect Sentinel Prime to be such a major part of the story. So that was really surprising. And one of the most shocking moments for me was when we heard that Sentinel Prime betrayed the rest of the 13. Betrayed the 13 Primes. I don't actually think he's one of the 13, actually. Either way, he betrayed the 13 Primes, and he sent the Quintessons after them, and they were fighting each other. I actually thought the Quintessons were going to finish off the 13. I was not expecting the next scene where Sentinel is actually the one that slayed them. He killed them himself. He killed them himself, and I was not expecting that at all. That was quite shocking for me in the cinema. I didn't think he was going to actually carry it out himself. I thought he was going to have the Quintessons finish off that 13 for him. So that just showed how formidable he was. And so that was quite interesting. That was a shocking revelation for me. Even though I found his character to be suspicious right from the moment he was introduced, I was not expecting him to be the one that actually killed the 13 Primes. So that was I loved how many twists and turns there were in this film. And again, the storytelling was really in depth and everything. The depth of the storytelling was amazing. I loved the Cybertronian designs as well. It's really cool seeing Cybertron. It's really cool finally seeing a film set on Cybertron after all these years. And they could easily pull off they could easily do a trilogy on Cybertron, if you ask me. If I haven't mentioned this already. Is there anything else to say? I'm trying to think. Oh, I like the Quintessons. The Quintessons are a cool design to them. I really like that ship. I really like the Quintesson ships. They didn't really play as much of a role as I thought they would in this film. I don't know if I thought they'd be the main villains, but I wasn't expecting Sentinel Prime to be the main villain, but I thought the Quintessons would play a larger part in this film, and they didn't, so we'll probably see them in the next film. Yep. And I think that's it for Transformers 1. Don't think there's anything else to mention. Megatronus Prime, stuff that I took away from my experience in the cinema was I was quite pleased that Megatronus Prime was actually a hero in this film, technically, even though Megatronus's cog is in Sentinel Prime, so I'm not entirely sure, but normally he's portrayed as evil, but in this he actually died with the rest of the Primes, so I quite like that. I was expecting Dion to appear in the film, actually, because of the whole connection to Wardon. I was trying to figure out whether I was expecting Dion to turn up, but he never did, I don't think. And that's about it, really, for what I thought in the film. Also, when Optimus Prime gets the Energon axe out, well, actually, when he said transform and roll out, I went, he said it. That got quite a reaction from Simon, one of the people who do the board game videos with me back in the day. A few years back, when we were doing all these board gaming videos on this channel, he laughed at that. And then when Optimus Prime got the Energon axe out, I went, yes! I absolutely loved those moments. That was absolutely fantastic. When Optimus Prime gets the Energon axe. Again, I didn't have a problem with the voice actors. I thought they were great. Apart from Shockwave, I wasn't a big fan of Shockwave. Anyway, right, I think I've dragged on long enough about Transformers 1. Overall, fantastic. A phenomenal film. I loved it. And I really hope that we get to see a sequel. It's very attraction. And I hope now that a more conclusive review has been created for this film, because I really want to do it justice, and I didn't feel like I had done it justice before with the previous videos. So I'm hoping now that... I also really liked Alpha Tron's character, and it's a shame that he died. It was a brutal death scene though, and it showed how formidable Sentinel Prime was. I liked that, but I would have liked to have seen him survive. I really liked his design, like the beast mode, everything, the horns, and his voice as well. It looks really cool, and again, the visual style and everything about the film, how Cybertron looked, it was incredible. And I would love to see more. Alright, it's been Attraction. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.